Scenario 1.
The following is a 360-degree video. Click and drag your mouse to look around. Headphones strongly encouraged. Disclaimer. Please note that participants in this video are role-playing as different characters and not themselves. Some names have been changed.
We are introducing you to a focus group session on effective and helpful learning experiences. There are 8 participants, a note taker and a facilitator in the room. Your task is to observe the behaviours and interactions of the facilitator and the participants. This session was recorded as a 360-degree video, so you can use your cursor to move around the room and get a closer look at everyone involved. As you watch, please focus on the following questions. 1. How is the seating arranged? Do you notice any effects on how participants engage with each other or how the group dynamics play out based on where people are sitting? 2. What does the facilitator say or leave out that either helps or hinders creating a positive environment for discussion? 3. How do you think the participants are feeling in this scenario? Consider both what they say and their body language as you zoom in on different individuals around the room. Feel free to explore the video in detail by moving your view around and observing each person closely.
Hello and welcome everybody. Thank you very much for coming. I'm Tundi Vargatkis and based in the Center for Innovation in Education, and our university has asked us to do a research about identifying positive, memorable and effective learning experiences that you've had during your study. And the idea is that the university would really like to improve and enhance the teaching and learning and take these experiences and your suggestions on what makes an effective, positive learning, so we could make some recommendations to the university. So thank you for giving up your time. Has anyone got any questions before we make a start?
As a staff member, can I talk about staff experiences as well as learner experiences?
Yes, yeah, that's fine, because I think we are all just interested in what makes a positive learning experience. So every member of us will be learning. So I think that will be really useful too. Yeah, thank you for your question. Any other questions? And I just wanted to ask as well that are we okay to do the recording? So if we make the recording start, has anyone got, and you've got your consent form and the participation information sheet. So if that's okay, then we will just press record. Yeah? Thank you. Okay, so shall we make a start then? So can I ask you to talk about a light bulb moments or some learning experience that was really positive, really effective and memorable for you?
Oh, I've got one. So I was learning how to program an AI patient recently. I'm working with a colleague, and neither of us had done it before, so we were needing to go through some authoring training, and there was this online resource with lots of training materials which we would work through separately, and then we would get together and then work through it in order to put the learning into practice. And I found the online materials really dry, and it wasn't really making sense, and it wasn't very logical, and it was all a bit back to front. But then when I was working with my colleague and actually putting it into practice and then asking each other questions and saying, oh, I think it might be this way, and then we would try it, and then we would have a conversation with the patient and see how it spoke back to us, it suddenly clicked, and I understood why I needed to prompt the character in a certain way. So I needed to be more open with the terminology and the phrasing and the questions and the prompts. So that was, I would say, a really, really positive experience of working with someone else to learn.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Jess. Thanks. Anyone else?
I would say when I was teaching the students a particular topic that I tried to make it very visual, and also when I was teaching them, I brought some movement to the class. It was about some stains on the teeth called fluorosis. So I showed them some models and also gave them examples. Like I had a cousin that has that kind of problem. So I tried to explain to them, and then a clinical picture of patients with such, and so it brought to them clearer what the problem is, and I could see from the student that we were really happy. The understanding was much better and deeper.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
I've got another one. So I was in a ukulele class recently, and I didn't understand scales, so I'm not musical at all. And the teacher was trying to teach us how to find the right note on the right string to play a scale, and it wasn't going in for me at all until she got up and she used a whiteboard pen and she drew it all out on the wall, and there were lines which were showing the strings, and then there was all the different notes, and all of a sudden the penny dropped. It's like, oh, and then there was an example about the piano and why there were 3 keys and then 2 keys and then 3 keys and 2 keys, because there were gaps in the middle. I can't really explain it, but it felt like I'd learned it.
Okay, thank you, Jess.
And this is a really good point, because I'm in a choir as well, and I wanted to invite you all to come to our rehearsal, which is taking place soon. I will drop the advert out. And
How many participants have contributed so far? What is it that the facilitator is or is not doing here?
that was a good point. Having music is so enlightening and so refreshing when you be in a choir and your music. So it gives all a good.
Oh, it's fab, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Is anyone
Okay.
else in the choir or having some music? No, just you. Oh, all right.
Okay, let's get back to the your learning experiences. Anyone else wants to share?
When I was doing my postgraduate certificate in teaching, I had to take the train a lot to commute because my car is broken.
I also find that learning on the train is really good. I really empathize with that. I love learning on the train.
The facilitator must remain neutral. Participants should not know the facilitator's own experience on the topic. Their role is to ask questions and listen. They are not there to share their views.
But I'd say the environment is part of the learning experience. It's really important.
I want
Yeah,
to
and
include something, because back in Nigeria, my method of learning is quite, I've gained another method called problem-based learning. What we used to do is the lecturer comes in and teach, but now you see, they give you the questions, you go and find out, you will have read before time, they will come to the class and you discuss, and there's a moderator or a facilitator that guides you. So you are the one actually reading, you're just being, there's just someone moderating for you to learn. So problem-based learning is actually very, very good. I know they do it in dentistry, but I don't know if other departments or faculties do that, but it would be a good thing to inculcate problem-based learning into the maybe curriculum when they are reviewing the.
Sometimes I think problem-based learning, though, just kind of devolves the responsibility a bit. So, I mean, I've been in sessions where, the lecturer will split you off into multiple groups, and then you'll go away and you'll do an activity and you'll talk amongst your groups, but then there'll be no follow-up afterwards, and you don't know if what you talked about was correct or accurate, or whether your group were learning the right thing, because there's no feedback.
I think grading is a very disputable topic if you mark something, because I feel some students are more engaged if they get good grades, but many of them feel distracted and very stuck in their learning procedure. I think grading shouldn't be forced or shouldn't be in such an amount, because sometimes you just have to learn something and then you get a mark out of it.
Can I ask you to maybe just finally make some recommendations that we can feed to the university about how we can create positive learning experiences for our students?
Oh, I think music is a very important aspect to learn, and it should be more in the aspect of the culture as well in the university, being more open to music and enhance the learning environment.
Okay, music.
I think feedback's really important. So I think to reinforce the learning, that teachers need to be able to provide that immediate feedback, but also follow-up feedback, and there needs to be time for questions where the learners can clarify what kind of understanding they've got, whether they've got any misunderstandings, whether there's any gaps in their knowledge. And so I really think that the onus is on the lecturers to make that time to give feedback, really good feedback.
And I think we all agree with yes.
Okay, that's great. That's fabulous. Thank you so much.
In this case, some people were too far from the facilitator, and the seating was uneven, which made the group feel disconnected. This made it harder for the facilitator to involve everyone equally. The facilitator didn't explain the focus group clearly, or set any ground rules. Jumping straight into the discussion can make participants hesitant to share their thoughts. The facilitator should encourage open sharing of different views and create a friendly, trusting environment from the beginning. Also, the note taker wasn't introduced. This can cause discomfort when participants don't know everyone's role. How would you have involved all participants equally in the discussion? There are two ways of involving people. One is through direct invitation, e.g. verbally calling on people by name, or inviting further contributions from the group, in general, by asking what do others think. This goes hand in hand with non-verbal strategies. For instance, the facilitator can turn their body to the participant or participants they would like to encourage to speak, or use their eyes and other facial features to invite them to contribute. Equally, facilitators may use the same techniques with overactive participants, so that they allow other participants to have their turn to speak too.